now can everyone see this screen from Perfect Audience?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wanted to show this because this, once you have that pixel in here, this is what you get. You can see these are the conversions. It shows you, which banner they clicked on, what type of conversion it was. It was a cart. It would be a cart for a website. And then here's the sales from that one sale and this is a view through conversion. They saw the ad at 4:08 p.m., but they came back and finished their purchase at 5:28 p.m. But they spent $4,000.
Yeah, this is showing you the details of that one sale that was worth $4,000. Okay, this isn't a cumulative thing. This is like, hey, Joe, saw a retargeting campaign, came back and bought. This one guy did these following things. Okay, can you see how crazy it is to have this data? You can do that for all these different blocks in here that he's showing you. Post type, post click, post view, like all these different ones. These are different orders, different purchases, okay, or giveaways. Like this one's a giveaway. This is why the conversion pixel is so incredibly important, because this gives you data that nobody else has. And then you can say, okay, well, I'm getting a lot of view-through conversions on this ad, and it's resulting on average into this thing, so I want to make sure I keep this one running, even if it's not profitable on the front end, because I'm getting the view-through conversions on this type of ad. And it's a post view, so that was post view is Facebook view, right?
No, yeah, no, it's just a banner.
Just banner view. Yeah, that's why the conversion tracking is so important, whether it's on Shopify or on your regular website or on your opt-in page, whatever. Even if, like here, do the one where it says giveaway right there, Nano Beam giveaway. Highlight that one.
Right.
Down. Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's a Facebook banner.
Nope, the one below it. The one I was
the one below it?
Yeah. So this one, revenue zero, this is a giveaway. It's an opt-in. But he still knows what banner they looked at,
right?
And he knows what got the opt-in and what time. Okay? So yeah, everything is tracked, guys. This is what makes it so powerful. Because now that you have this data, you can start dialing in your ads better. You can start tracking everything. This is where it's really cool.
Right.
And if you're not sure if this is cool stuff we're talking about, Don is just getting all excited in the chat box right now, because this is like really, really cool stuff.
Right, and I mean here you can see this ad. Look at that. Doesn't look like a regular banner, does it? That's a dynamic retargeting ad. They saw they looked at an item on the website. They were back on Facebook, and they saw the item that they looked at on the website showed up in their newsfeed. And it shows, here's their order ID, and there's the sale.
And this is, again, guys, why we're focusing on Perfect Audience right now, because it gives you so much, and it's all in one platform.
Right. Right. I mean, to be able to see, and here's another. It's another dynamic item retargeting ad.
Yes, dynamic ads are set up differently from regular ads, and there's training on that. Actually, we're going to cover a little bit tonight, and it's also already in the members area.
So let's see here. So this is where like we both said. Most people just go in and set up the retargeting, and they don't do the conversion part of it. And to be able to go in here and see this is just so valuable.
Yeah, an example of this in like the digital marketing world, guys. Well, I talked about Facebook Ads Cracked before, where I was promoting the course, right? And I was running a lot of retargeting ads. The way that I was able to get such good conversions and stuff was because I went in here and I looked at what I was doing. Okay, and I could see what ads were doing the best and which were resulting in the sales, and I just bumped those ones up and paid ridiculous prices per click on it because I knew they were going to result in the best performance.
Yeah. 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 And Yeah, this part of it is so important. It is usually you just won't get this level of detail on why this is so important and actually how to do it from just about, you just won't find it in other places. Any more questions?
Looks like everybody's cool on this one so far.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, now we're going to go to the next part is actually getting the retargeting pixel into
Set up on
Shopify.
Shopify, yeah.
Set up on Shopify. So now I'm sure for everyone that has a Shopify store or has wants to, if you're going to retarget on for a particular domain within Perfect Audience, you need to connect that domain to its Facebook page. So the first thing, I mean, this is easy to do. You just, once you're logged into Perfect Audience, you go to the settings and the Facebook newsfeed setup, and you just put in the URL of that domain's page on Facebook. Basically, click next step, and say okay, accept, and that's all done. This is the easy part of it, setting this part up. I mean, I know all of us have at one point or another said okay to some sort of an app within Facebook. That's basically what you're doing here, is just approving. Because when Perfect Audience places your retargeting ads on Facebook, it will actually show up under that domain's page, and they're basically dark posts, and you can see them in the Power Editor. They'll just show up as dark posts inside there. Tanner, have you seen those?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it kind of surprised me the first time I saw them in there. I thought, oh.
Yeah, so I didn't make those.
I didn't make those. Where'd this come from? And I realized, oh, yeah, I set this thing up to do this, and that's where it came from. So that's real easy. Just go in and say okay with the domain's page. And then it should, once it's done, it just should say all done and so forth. So, okay, now this is the site tracking tag, and you just pull this from Perfect Audience, and then this needs to be copied and then pasted into Shopify. But because Tanner and I are focusing on what really makes a difference for our stores, I want us all to be ready for dynamic retargeting, even if you don't want it, even if you're not going to implement it right now. Let's just get it in place, so you don't have to go back and change your code. You're ready to go. It's very simple, and it's the code that comes from Perfect Audience just has this line commented out, and all that needs to happen is this. It just needs to be typed in like this, and I'll provide all of this in the members area so you can copy and paste it. Because what happens with the dynamic retargeting is it needs the product ID, and that, let me go, wait a second, I got a little bit further ahead of myself. All it needs to do is pull up the product ID, and that will, it's not the SKU, but there's an internal number inside Shopify that's used. So it's a very small modification, and then what we're going to do is paste this in to Shopify. So inside of Shopify, you go to the themes, the template editor, and I'm going to go back into Shopify and show you what that looks like. So back to admin, and we'll go to themes, and then in here you just click on customize themes, and then we do edit HTML CSS, and we click on this thing that's called, well, for me it's Theme Liquid, and what we do is scroll all the way down to the bottom, and right before this is the ending body tag right here in HTML, right there. We just paste our script. we just paste the script that we pulled up. We just paste it in here, and that's all you need to do. So, and I'm just going to highlight the modification just so you can see what that is. Right in here is what's going to get you all ready to go when you want to do dynamic retargeting ads, and you're all going to want to do them because they convert like crazy. So the only difference is right in there, and then, as I mentioned, you have to change that number. And let me go back to my pen. So just go into themes, edit the HTML, and paste right in this, just above the body, the closing body tag. You may need to add it one more line, and just make sure above your script is this end if, and below is the body tag with the /. And then once it's pasted in, just click Save, and then it's installed. And again, now you've got this code that's ready for dynamic retargeting. You've got your retargeting code in there. Once it's in there, you don't have to go back and change it. It's just a one-time thing. Any questions on this part? I see someone has a question about connecting a domain to the page. You just create a page for your domain, and then it's your page. So you just give Perfect Audience the OK to use that for posting your retargeting ads. So for me, I have my page for my e-commerce site is WLAN Parts. So that matches. So they know, they see WLAN Parts. It's the same as the domain of the website. There's some congruency between the two. So they see the retargeting ad. They know where that's coming from. Oh, someone asked about coding in themes. Yeah, if you replace the theme, then you do need to paste that back in there. If you replace a theme or someone makes major changes to it and they remove that, then you have to put it back in. Dynamic retargeting is when, for example, I go to my e-commerce website and I look, say for example, I click on this item and then I decide, oh, I'm not going to do anything more, and I go over to Facebook. I go to Facebook and I go away. Well, now Facebook's going to retarget me with this item. This item will actually, the picture of the item will show up in the news feed with the description and a Shop Now button and a little bit of a call to action, you know, come back to our site. You can actually modify some of that, and we're going to show some of that in here too in a minute. All right. I don't know. Got some other questions that we need to answer before?
No, I think we're okay.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, here we are, dynamic retargeting. Okay, I'm going to go through some of this. I'm going to go through, as far as the Google portion of this, I'm going to give you a really good overview of this, and it should get you through it. If there's some need in the future or if someone has a question on it, I mean, everyone that's in this should get an email from me for a Facebook group for retargeting. We can cover that in there or also in the members area. But let's go through this. There's a free Google Shopping. If you don't know what Google Shopping is, so when you go search for an item on the internet, it'll show this up. And I'll look for one of my products. Ubiquiti, UITI, and let's see. Okay, this is Google Shopping in here. This bunch in here. You can see my websites, right? I'm one of them in here. So this is Google Shopping, and you can of course, do that as well with your website, but we're going to cover the retargeting part of that. So what happens here is you need to set up a Google Shopping feed, because Perfect Audience connects to Google Shopping to pull the images and the descriptions to show up in the retargeting ads. So let's see here. Let's go to the next page. Just I mean, it is probably should have had a diagram in here, but anyway, what Google Shopping is it was, and I talked to the people at Perfect Audience when they were first doing this, and I think I might have been one of the beta testers, but they said it was just the easiest way to have a common platform to get the images and descriptions and information about a product that someone has visited available to create that dynamic ad. So they settled on what most websites use is Google Shopping. So the first thing that has to take place in this process is to install this free app into your Shopify store. And I have some screens here on what that looks like. So basically, once you start the install here, it's going to ask you to sign into your Google account. And if you already have a Google Merchant Center account, which is free, then you can create one while you're in there. And what this free app will do is it will, on a regular basis, upload your products and links to all the images to the Google Merchant Center account, which is what Google Shopping also uses to pull up those images. Now, to create a Google Merchant Center, the main thing that needs to take place for that to happen is you have to verify your website. So the first step is just to put in some general information about your store. And then you have to put a little piece of code back into your website. Now, we're not going to, typically when I've done this, let's make sure I've got the right slide here. Yeah. I've done this many times on different websites, and I typically use the alternate method. I just find it easier. And what will happen is when you, and I don't, is on this page, once you click that, it'll show you a piece of code that looks just like this. And in this circumstance, you don't need to modify this code at all. All you need to do is copy it and then go into your Shopify. Let's get this out of the way. You go to Shopify, and you're going to copy it up here. So I'll just do it here so you can see. Let's see here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, one moment. Let me get back to the right page. So this code, you're going to copy this and paste it into. See, there's some tags up here that say meta. You're just going to paste this into the line below it. I'll just show you that again. Where it says meta name, just take the whole line exactly from each one of these and paste it right into this space, right under that, the last meta. You just paste it right into this space. And I'll show you what that looks like. Is I've got that in. So you can see in here, this is at my WLANparts.com account. I have one of those site verifications in here, and what happens is they give you that code while you're signing up for Google Merchant Center, and then to prove that you own the website, you must have the ability to modify the website. So once you put that code in and save it, of course, and once you save this layout, this theme, then you go to the next step and you click on there's a button here to claim the URL, and as long as that tag is in there, it'll say verified, and then you're set. And and then the next part is to go into your perfect audience. Now, perfect audience needs access to this as well. So in here in settings, in dynamic ad settings, you would click through here. I'll show you what it looks like on a site that doesn't have it. And so this is a domain that does not have Google Merchant Center. So once all of these other steps are in place and you have your site verified, then you go into perfect audience and you just click on this that says authorize to select a Google Merchant Center account. And from there, you just choose the same account you use for Google Merchant Center, and it'll authorize perfect audience to pull the data from there. And from there, if that works correctly, it'll say completed. And once your products have been fed to the Google Merchant Center, it will show you the number of products, and it'll show you the number of products that have been moved up there, and it'll tell you a percentage if there's any errors or anything like that. So, okay, and I know that there's going to be questions on this. I've actually put some detail in here that you don't see in the perfect audience instructions, but it's there as well. And again, if anyone needs some more on that, we can go over that. And once that's done, now you can create your dynamic ads, and it's a lot like creating another campaign. It's just you get to customize what some of the text is that shows up on the Facebook ad.
And guys, just to refresh this, all the technology, like how to do and this stuff, it's all in videos in the members area already. So as you're learning this stuff, you don't have to try to memorize it right now. There's more videos, there's this, and there will be the Facebook group and accompanying information.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you're launching a dynamic retargeting campaign, you can, just like when you're doing a Facebook ad, you can click choose a call to action button. You can put in some call to action in here. You can put a headline, and then inside of here, there's some, typically I just have the name and the price in there, or you could leave the price out. And what it does, it will pull the name from the Google Merchant Center. It'll just pull it out and populate that. So it says it's got the picture of the item, it's got the name of the item, the name of the store, and optionally you can have the price in there. So this is one of the more this is extremely powerful. This dynamic ads, it usually costs less and has a better conversion ratio, because it is super targeted. It's something that the visitor has already seen. They looked at that item before and they went somewhere else, and now they're seeing it show up again. Well, someone put something in here about dynamic ads, about rotate through the pictures. Not what's in the cart. It's not something they've abandoned necessarily, but it's just the last item they've looked at. It's going to
dynamic. Yeah. Sorry, Frank. I'll take that. Dynamic ads are when you're using product retargeting. It's the product they looked at. Dynamic retargeting is not abandoned cart retargeting. That's totally different. Okay. Dynamic ads are only so if you viewed a spatula it's going to retarget you with a picture of that spatula. That's dynamic. Okay? If you view a set of shoes on Zappos, that is going to retarget you with the pictures of that set of shoes. That's dynamic. Shopping cart abandonment is a different thing. That uses a third-party app with different kinds of retargeting sequences in it to do that. Most retargeting platforms, though, do not allow for specific item shopping cart retargeting. There's a few carts out there that do it. Most of it is custom coding.
And it'll usually show you the last item you looked at. It won't give you a rotation because, remember, the retargeting, the dynamic item retargeting at this point is within it shows up in Facebook.
Yeah, and that's also, think about that. It's one dynamic retargeting campaign. So if you land on it for that one, it's a pixel for a spatula. If then you look at a pair of shoes, then that pixel replaces the pixel for the spatula with a pixel for the shoes. So it just keeps rotating with whatever the last pixel was that you hit.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay, are we good? All right. Okay, and I think we just went through our questions. If there's any more, yeah, it's just what we're trying to show you is how powerful this platform is once you start using the features that it provides, and really these things. I mean, my dynamic retargeting ads, I haven't touched it for months. It's not something. Last time I did it, I touched it was when they added the call to action button option inside there, and then I went and just changed that, and then I was done. But once the code was set up, I didn't have to change it. It was ready to go, and then as Facebook changed their ads around a little bit, I had to make a couple changes in Perfect Audience. I think it was something very simple, but I didn't have to do anything else. I just had to make there was something about the size of the images, and then a few other things that changed, but other than that, it was all ready to go.
So look at Martin's question. If you have more than one e-commerce site, is it best to have a dedicated Perfect Audience account for each site, or can you run multiple dynamic retargeting campaigns with multiple sites and one PA account?
Oh, you can have one PA account. It's all based on domain. So as long as each website is a separate domain, they would appear to the user as completely different locations. In fact, you get a different ID. So that, remember in those scripts you had that number that you had to put in there. Well, you may have 5 domains or 10 domains or 20 domains on your Perfect Audience site, and each one of those domains will have its own unique ID. So a user wouldn't know. If you've got shoes.com and bacon.com, and you've got them both on Perfect Audience, you have a different Facebook page for each one of them. They're each linked up differently. They each link up to their own setup for Google Shopping, and then the dynamic retargeting is completely separate for each one of them, and those ads will show up under that page that's associated with Facebook.
Do you have to have a different Google Merchant Center account for each Shopify store?
Well, for each domain, I typically have a different Google account, just because I want them separate. The reason, now this is one of the reasons why I do it. For example, if I sell that domain, it makes it really easy. It's all in one place, and then they can just take that Google account and everything with them. But you can put. I just find it simpler to do different places. Other people may have a different idea on that, but I prefer to have something separate.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. Let's go to the next one here. All right. Other topics. Well, just to have a handful of things we wanted to give you as well, but they're not necessarily a whole series of slides, and just some ideas that
they didn't fit anywhere else, but they're very important.
They're very important. Yeah. Very important, and they can give you some added flexibility. So, let's just go through these one at a time and just let us know if you want to go through it a little more. There's some other retargeting platforms. We've been talking about Perfect Audience tonight, and we've spent our time on on the way that's set up and getting yourself set up. But Perfect Audience, of course, as we mentioned, you do web retargeting and you can do Facebook retargeting. There's also Twitter retargeting in there as well. And I've done some very little testing on it, and I don't have a lot that I haven't spent enough on it to tell you if it does much at all. Tanner, have you done any Twitter?
We're doing a lot of Twitter now. We're scaling that up. We're also using Twitter actual ads separate from retargeting as well, scaling that up as well. It can work really well, especially the Twitter image ads. They don't call them image ads; they call them something else. But I'm like Twitter. I don't even know Twitter.
Yes.
I don't even have a Twitter account, but our company does. And Los and David, our media buyer, handles all of that. But we definitely are using Twitter, and it's doing really, really well with us.
Oh, good, good.
So yeah, then there's other platforms, like obviously there's Facebook custom audiences, which allows you to do Facebook retargeting based on custom audiences through audience insights or through how they land on ads. Then there is Site Scout. Site Scout is by far the largest retargeting network that's out there. It's also the most lax in terms of requirements to get approved to get your ads running. AdRoll is another really good one. Of the four, I would say AdRoll and Perfect Audience are the hardest to get approved on. Well, actually, we all know how Facebook is, but not counting Facebook, Perfect Audience and AdRoll are the hardest to get approved on because you just can't be doing anything shady. And a lot of people are doing like gray hat stuff or trying to be sneaky about the kind of stuff they're promoting, their T-shirts and things like that. So as long as you're playing by the rules, you can get approved just fine. And if your site doesn't get approved, just contact them, and they will walk you through what needs to change to get it approved.
Yeah. In the members area, there's a video about getting your site approved for Perfect Audience. So because you can't just set up a blank page and put that domain in Perfect Audience. They won't approve it. You need to have it set up a certain way, with privacy policy and contact information and a few other things. If it doesn't look like it's being used, it may not get approved. So, and that's, there's a video in there. I've had one get denied, and they'll usually give you a pretty good idea of what you need to do, and then you fix it, and then they'll approve it. All right.
So guys, also on this, yes, we're talking about Perfect Audience tonight because we feel it's the one that everybody needs to start with and roll out with, and we can give you the $120 ad credit. But there's 4 networks here. I highly suggest that you use all 4 networks. So that means if you have one pixel on a page, you should have 4, one from each network. So you're building 4 different retargeting lists at the same time with the same person. So when you want to turn an ad on, it's everywhere, not just some places. Okay, and that's what we do. That's how we get massive distribution. And I'll tell you some numbers in a second about what we just did today with a little holiday promo that's just doing incredibly well because we're using 4 different networks.
Okay. Wow. Nice.
So those are the 4 I suggest you use, and honestly, I would actually probably use them in the order that Frank has them listed right there. Perfect Audience, Facebook, Site Scout, and AdRoll. But even if you're not running ads on all of them, get approved on all of them so you can at least be building the audience on each one.
Yeah. Because you're not spending any money on any of these until you do the ads. You can build up your list forever, but you don't want to wait too long. But you can build that list up now without spending any money. The cost is in the ads, not in building your pixel list.
Yeah, that's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you to acquire pixels. They don't charge you per email or per pixel like they do per email.
Right. Right. And you want to get that in as soon as you can so you can start building that list. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. All right. I came across this when I was when I was building out a funnel, and I was using Nanocast, and I used Nanocast to host some of the upsell pages. and most everything I had done up until that time was all on the same domain, and so we could just use that path. Well, as I was setting this up, I found that by using a different type of code when I was building that retargeting list, now I'm starting to stumble a bit, but when I figured out that if you just use an action type pixel list, you could put that code on just about any website. So, for example, I have this funnel built. Well, you land on my domain for the sales page, the entry sales page for this funnel. But when you click and do that purchase, it takes you to the next page, even though that page is part of the funnel, it's on a different website, on a different domain completely, which of course I can't use that domain name within Perfect Audience. But not using an action type of code, I was able to put this code on Nanocast on another website, and it tracks it just fine. I can both do the conversion and the and get retargeting pixels using this type of code. And this another thing is I would thinking of some other things that could be done with this. For example, if you had a website available that was related to something else, but it had lots of traffic, but you wanted to include that website's traffic into a different domain's retargeting list, well, this is the way you would do that. You'd use this action type of code.
So guys, this is a pretty tricky little thing that he's figured out here. I was doing this through a different method that I'll explain in a second, but this works way better. Now, the example he just gave you, let's say your product was six-pack abs, how to get six-pack abs, right? But you also had a blog that was on weight loss, and it got a lot of traffic, but it was a different domain than your six-pack abs product line. But you wanted to capture all that weight loss traffic and see if you could turn it into converting towards your six-pack product. Well, you would take this code and paste it on your fat loss website with all that traffic, even though it's not the same domain as the one that's registered with Perfect Audience, and you could build a retargeting list off all that other traffic. And then, not everybody who's interested in weight loss is going to want to get six-pack abs, but there will be a significant portion of them that probably are interested in it, at least remotely, and then you can push them into your advertising and then get them to convert. So you can place this code literally on any website where that you can get access to the code portion where you can paste it in the body.
Right, right. It's just another way of building up your lists.
Now remember this, guys, we're going to get to another slide in a little bit where I'm going to talk about what some of the things we do with Build, Grow, Scale that is pretty cool, and we leverage this.
Yeah, one of the things, and I just wanted to show where these tie together. This code, of course, goes on the website, and this is the setup inside of Perfect Audience. And it's these two items that match, that drive both the pixel code, the pixel list, builds that pixel list, but in this case, this code is also being used as a conversion code. So in Nanocast, I've got the conversion price, and the client ID would be reported into Perfect Audience.
Yep. So this is actually it's advanced. You don't have to use this, but if you want to start putting code elsewhere, which I'll talk to you guys about in a little bit, this is one way to do it. The other hack way to do it, this is the way that I started doing it, but it's not nearly as effective as this, is to create an email retargeting list, which gives you a snippet of JavaScript code, and you can paste that inside of any HTML page. Right. And that does basically the same thing, but it doesn't fire, meaning doesn't set off and place the code quite as much of a guaranteed rate as this version does.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's go. This is thing that Perfect Audience is beta testing, and I wanted to mention it also. They're setting up something that if you partnered with someone else, that you could borrow each other's pixels. I can see circumstances, in many circumstances you wouldn't want to do that, but if you're involved in some sort of a partnership with someone, this could really help out if you're working on things together. And this is, I mean, it's definitely, at this point, it's a beta test item, but something, just something that, we're trying to put some ideas in your head. Things will come up in the future, and these are things that are coming around right now that are going to be readily available in the near future.
Okay. Didn't I have a screenshot on this one?
This one?
On that one. Okay.
Yeah.
So this screenshot actually should have been on the other slide.
Oh, okay.
So if you look right here, this is CM CPA visitors with 133,000 people on this list. Okay. So 133,000 people on this list. Go back to the other slide.
Okay.
Okay, that is partner traffic, okay? Lois and I own 50% of a company called Castle Media, which owns the Coffee Shop Millionaire brand, okay? So what we did was and the Coffee Shop Millionaire also has a CPA deal with Lions Bay Media. So what did we do? We went to Lions Bay and said, hey, you guys get all this traffic on this offer. Would you let us put a retargeting code on it? We will retarget people back to the CPA offer and try to get them to convert. But at the same time, we're also going to use that retargeting list for our own offers. And they said, sure, we don't care. So now we have a retargeting list that's growing by about almost 8,000 people per day.
Wow.
And we're making money on it because we're retargeted into the same CPA offer that was getting the traffic. So they've already seen the offer, now they're going to see it again. We make a $75 payout there, and they make money, so everybody's happy. And then we can also leverage that retargeting to our other offers. So yeah, kind of like retargeting swaps. Donald, inside the Perfect Audience, they have a thing called Connect, where if you want to let me use your retargeting list, you can share it with me, and I would share my list with you. So we could retarget the same people and use each other's lists if we have similar interests. You could do that with a bunch of people. That's new. What I'm talking about here is bypassing that whole connect thing, because in this case, we went to people who didn't even, this CPA network they don't even use retargeting. And so they're like, oh yeah, it didn't work for us. I'm like, well, I bet I can get it to work for you now. So let me do this. So they said yes. Another way we're doing this, and through Build, Grow, Scale, we're doing this quite a bit. Los and I have built relationships with some very, very influential bloggers and people who get lots of traffic but don't have a clue what to do with it. Okay, so what we've done is we said, hey, you have this crazy, you're getting 30, 40,000 uniques a month, you're getting 1 million uniques a month, whatever. You have these offers that are converting at whatever percent, but you're not retargeting. Yeah, because we don't know how. Let us implement a retargeting strategy for you. We'll set up campaigns to redirect them to your opt-ins, redirect them to your offers, make you more money, but hey, let us also use the retargeting list. And by and large, they're like, sure. So we are actively growing our retargeting list by around 250,000 targeted people per month. Okay, now that's just in the entrepreneur business space. Okay, we don't. That's the one we're focused on right now for Build, Grow, Scale. So 250,000 people per month. We have a few million person retargeting list already, and it's getting even bigger. Okay, just through partner traffic. Now we're doing a service to them. We're making them money and helping them leverage their traffic. And when they want to put out a new offer, we'll set up a new offer for them as well. But we also get the list, and we usually get some pretty sweet consulting deals out of it as well, because they're like, wow, you guys can do this. What else can you do? And then we say, well, hell, give us a piece of your company, and then we'll show you all the cool stuff we do. So that's partner traffic is what I'm talking about here. So now we can do a lot more with the traffic, and the way that action code that Frank just showed you on the previous screen is one way of getting that code out there on those partner sites that are not part of your network. Another way to do that would be to make that same kind of deal, but to get them set up with their own perfect audience account, and then use the connect feature to share the stuff. But that's where partner stuff can do really, really well.
Yeah.
Any questions on this partner traffic? This model? Are you guys starting to see retargeting is more than just remarketing? There's more to it than that? Okay, if you guys have questions, great. Keep them specific to what we're talking about right here. If you have random questions, let's wait till we get to the end or to something that's actually related to that. Paul's hitting overload right now. Understood. We got a lot of stuff. That's why these crash courses are so crazy, because we give you everything, and that's why we also give you the recordings so you can dissect it. Can the borrowed pixels be stopped, or once the partnership is made, is it into perpetuity? If you're using the Perfect Audience Connect feature where you're sharing through a joint agreement, you can stop it. Well, Frank, you got some weird echo.
Oh, is it better?
Your background is, there you go, now it is. So how do you not compete with your partner if you're both firing at once? You are to some extent if you're both firing the same ads at the same time, but it's just like any ad reach. You can't get every single person on your pixel thing to see it at the same time. So it basically goes into like a rotation sequence. And if there's two, like if you have one pixel that's showing two ads, one to them and one to us, well, if there's two ad spots on the website, both ads are going to show up.
Yep.
So when you put your code on their site, you are literally sending offers and making direct sales without them knowing? No, Marlene. They wouldn't let us put the code on their site unless we were helping them. So we go to them and say, hey, we'll implement your retargeting strategy, and we will set up campaigns for you so you can make money using retargeting from your people to your products and your offerings. But at the same time, for doing this, we would like to be able to use the retargeting list as well. So it's a joint thing. There's nothing shady about it. We actually tell them right up front, we're going to market our own stuff, but first we're going to get you up, making you a positive ROI, and helping you out. And by and large, these companies are all over that. And you only want to do this in categories and businesses that are directly related to your targeted demographic. I mean, if you're in like the sports niche, you wouldn't want to go place a code on like the dog eats and post, because that's all about pets. It's not good for a sports list. So you want to keep it very niche specific. Okay, I think we're good on partner traffic.
All right. And I just wanted to show this. This is the code that you would put into an email. And this would, when you're editing and setting up your email, you just go into the HTML and paste this in there, and it does not appear to the user at all. It's like a blank. It's a pixel that's all white, and it's just like it's one pixel in size, and it fires, and it can retarget that.
They don't even know it's there. No. The thing is about this, guys, is you have to send HTML emails for this to work.
Right.
If you send plain text, it won't work. And so it has to be an HTML email, and this is the same code that you could technically paste into another website, and it should still fire as long as it's HTML. Right. It's not perfect, but it does work. So you can build lists doing that. This CPA, because this list where we have 133 from the partner traffic is an email pixel, but it's placed on a website because we did this before Frank showed me how to do the action stuff. So this one's still building based off of this basic code on somebody's website. Okay. And I have an example on email retargeting.
You do?
It should be. Did you put that slide in there? Nope. Okay, go back.
This one?
Stay right there. I'll do it right here. Okay, guys, hang on. I'm going to switch. I'm going to steal the presenter for a second. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is an example slide of how email retargeting can work. So we're going to use this as an autoresponder, okay? You can do it in broadcast emails too, but I want you to think of it from a leveraged point of view. Autoresponders are about as leveraged as you can make when it comes to automatically making money with a simple follow-up, right? So what we're looking at here is a very bulk example and not super broken down, but each one of the squares is a series of emails, okay? So when I do promos, when I teach guys like Frank or anybody else that we teach to do promotions through autoresponder, we don't ever send one email. We always do promotions in no less than a 3-day sequence, okay? You send one email, you're going to get some sales. You send 3 emails, you're probably going to get 4 times the sales that you would have got from just one, okay? Because you send them on different pain points or different angles, right? So this first thing right here, day 1 to 3, is a 3-day promo promoting the same product for 3 days, 3 emails. Email on day 1, email on day 2, email on day 3. So at the same time that this email sequence is going out, you set up an email retargeting sequence, so when they open the email, it fires that retargeting campaign and starts showing them ads that directly relate to that email sequence. Okay? So there's a 3-day promo going on, so for 3 days, as long as they open an email, they're going to see offers for that. And then when that promo is over, it stops. The retargeting stops. Obviously, you're not sending them another email on that. You're sending them content emails or videos or whatever else. Then when your next promotion kicks on, so say like day 7 to 9, your next 3-day promotion, the email goes out, they click the email, a new retargeting pixel, which is in the email, fires, and now they're seeing ads that correlate with the emails that they're getting for the next 3 days. Okay? So if you just do a straight 3-day email promo, you're probably going to get 4 times the sales. Add in retargeting, you're going to get a whole bunch more sales on each day of the sequence because you're following up with them and keeping it top of mind. Because a lot of times, guys, think about it. When do you check your email? On your cell phone. And you think, oh, that's a good thing, I'm going to go back and check it. Or, hey, I'm going to write back to so-and-so. It's going to be a long message, so I'm going to write back when I get to my computer. And then you forget to write back to them. I do that all the time. So it's not that you don't want to buy it, but now if I'm retargeting you when you get back to your computer, I remind you. And even if you don't click the ad, you go back to your email, reread the email, click the link, and buy. That's a view-through conversion because of the retargeting pixel. Does this make sense? Don, if we knew how to do this when we were promoting some of those email offers, we'd have on our own island right now. Okay, any questions on this, guys? No, retargeting pixel is a piece of code that you paste into the email itself. When they click on and open the email, when they open the email in their email provider, that brings up the text of the email, it fires the email code and adds the pixel to their browser. The pixel is a piece of code inside the email, not the link. The link is the link. Any other questions on this, guys? Does this make sense? John gets, at least John's still here. Anybody else? There we go. Okay.
Yeah, just having those emails along with the retargeting at the same time makes a huge difference.
Massive, massive difference. Okay. All right, Frank, you got your screen back up so I can transfer it back to you?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, am I back?
Yep. Okay, so this one, guys, read that first line. Retargeting is not just for retargeting. Think about that. People use retargeting, they buy traffic, or they get traffic to their website, and they use retargeting to capture that traffic and try to get it to come back. Okay, that's remarketing. That's one time. Okay, or they're trying to do it. That's what most people stop with retargeting. That's all they think of. Retargeting lists. Once you've got a pixel on someone's computer or someone's browser, you can access that person. You can get that person's attention almost on demand anytime you want. Just like you have, it's almost just like having them on an email, but you have pixels. So instead of having their email address, you have a pixel on their computer. So when you have a new offer, fire up it's called a retargeting campaign, but really all it is an ad. Fire up an ad using your retargeting lists as your targeting, and send an ad out promoting your new offer to everybody on your list, just like you would send out an email. Okay? It's traffic on demand, and what makes it better than email, when you send an email, there's only one place they can see that email, inside their email provider, right? Inside of Gmail, inside of Yahoo, or whatever. Then, not only that, there's only one place they can see it. Then they're in their email. Your email now has to contend with all the other crap that's in their inbox on a daily basis. Okay, so let's say that you even notice your email amidst all the other clutter. Then your subject line has to catch them in such a way that they want to open your email. Then they click on your email. They open the email. Then your content has to catch them in such a way that they actually want to click on the link. All right, to go to your offer page. That's a whole lot of steps. Whereas retargeting, you turn the ad on, it goes out, it gets right in their face. If they click on the ad, yes, they do have to click. If they click on the ad, guess what? They go right to the offer. One step versus like 5 or 6. And it immediately follows them all over the place. Retargeting ads shows up all across whatever networks you're using on as many sites as you have targeted. Email, only located in one place. Are you guys kind of understanding how this is an actual traffic source that's super, super powerful? Let me know if you're getting this. So you're not technically retargeting them right now, but you're using their retargeting list to send out traffic. Okay, let me give you an actual example that is going on right now. All right? I'm not going to give you all the details because I don't want everybody knowing exactly what offer it is because I don't feel like getting ripped off. But today, actually about 3 o'clock, hang on, Don, listen to this. About 3 o'clock today, I sent out an email to my list. Okay, I put the wrong link in the email to promote the product, so nobody bought. It was an Amazon product. So I was like, well, crap, I can't hit them again. I've done this before. I don't want to hit them again. This list is very finicky. They're not an online niche, so they don't really like lots of email. So I said, okay, well, why don't I just hit them with an ad? So I made up a banner that's a holiday promotion. Said, hey, 4-day sale, 20% off. Here's your coupon code. Go to Amazon and buy it. Okay? And the link that I sent them to was the Amazon page. Okay, the Amazon product detail page for our product. Nothing fancy, just a little ad that has a little Christmassy look to it, a picture of the product, 20% off, here's the coupon code. That was it. Push the ad out to our retargeting list. Okay, they got a 20% discount. They had 4 days to buy it. It's running for 4 days. It started today. It went out. We have already made 200 and, let me refresh real quick, 219 sales, okay, since 3 o'clock. Right now, it is 8 p.m. my time. So, what else has that done? The product already sells well on Amazon. I just gave it a huge sales spike. So what we just did, I just looked, we just hit the movers and shakers category for our top level category, the movers and shakers, which is the top 100 selling products in growth-wise on Amazon right now. We're currently ranking #1 on 3 different keywords for that product on Amazon, our organic sales rate has just increased, our session percentage, everything, and I didn't do anything but put out an ad, okay? And I've spent about $70 to do that. And, 219 sales at $79 per sale. Well, actually, it's less than that. It's 20% off of 79, whatever that is. That's the kind of money we're making right now with a over 50% profit margin. So this is how on-demand traffic actually works. So yeah, you can send out a wrong email, screw that up, and then like put out an ad on retargeting, and boom, you're making money. So and this sale is going to go on for 4 days. So my sales rank is going to continue to drive. So it's going to give me sticking power in Amazon. We're going to make a ton more sales and get a lot more reviews and a lot more customers, all through one $90. Probably cost me a total of maybe $300 by the end of the 4 days. And why it's so expensive, which is actually, it is pretty expensive, is because this specific demographic, my CPM rate is over $40 on this demographic. But hey, I'm making really good money, so I'm okay with that. Is that a good enough example, guys? Does that make sense as to why and how to use this as traffic and why it can be so powerful? Nobody gets this. Nobody thinks about it this way. They think of retargeting as only retargeted. You can use it really, really well as actual traffic. And it, as Frank has shown you with his numbers, it is the cheapest traffic you can ever send it to. Rusty's asking, so the retargeting list gets generated from a site that I own. Correct. Yeah, I've generated that retargeting list from every different possible page that's on our different websites. Okay, so I send it out to all my lists, all my retargeting lists within that niche. I send it out to everybody who is, basically appropriate for that offer. And when you make an ad, you can send them to whatever URL you want. The URL that you send them to for the offer does not have to be on your domain. It could be anything. It could be a Nanicast link, it could be an affiliate link, a ClickBank link, your own link, whatever. The ad is completely separate from your domain. You can have it be whatever you want. Rusty said, didn't know that. That will expand my income. Good deal, Rusty. Okay, any other questions on this? Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. Let's go here.
Okay.
Yeah, Tanner, this is one of yours.
Yeah, so this is something else I wanted to show you guys. So this is where you can leverage super cheap traffic into even cheaper traffic. Okay? So how do you build a really big retargeting list that's targeted really fast? Well, you use this 4-step process. So you figure out what your market is. Okay? You create a viral piece of content or a very shareable, very exciting piece of content related to the product. Not necessarily the specific product, but the niche or a topic that someone who is interested in the product would buy. So, let's say you were selling some kind of let's say you were selling a paleo cookbook, like paleo for like CrossFitters, right? So you could do a content piece on, CrossFit diet, like the craziest CrossFit diet you've ever seen, because CrossFitters love paleo, right? And they're a perfect match for your product. So you create this content piece, which could be a video or an article or whatever, a picture or whatever you want. You put that on a page that you control. You place a pixel on that content page, whether it's the video page or an article page or whatever. Then you promote that content piece with the cheapest targeted traffic you can find. So in most cases, that's going to be a Facebook promoted post or CPM or PPE, pay per engagement ad, where you target the people you want to see it and you run it out very cheap. So all they're doing is seeing it, they click on it. Every time someone clicks on it, and lands on the page to read that really shareable article or whatever it is, now they're on your retargeting list, and as soon as they hit that, the pixel's added to their page, or to their browser, excuse me, and then that starts an ad that you have set up, and that shows them the offer for your paleo cookbook. All right, and your retargeting traffic is much, much cheaper than any other traffic source you can get. Okay, so if you target right for your viral piece, it'll get shared, it'll get more, you'll get more bang for your buck there. You'll get a lot of people on the retargeting list, which immediately upon landing on that page are now being shown your related offer. Okay, so this is another way that you can just build up massive retargeting lists of targeted people very, very cheaply, and then start leveraging that traffic on other offers. Jeff just got had a light bulb. Awesome. Does this part make sense, guys? This trick?
Hey, Tanner, I'm just wondering, what about,
Yeah,
rather than just you know, having to set up a page with all this information on it and then send them there, what about just using one of those, like one of those URL shorteners type software that you can put retargeting into it?
Yeah,
and
you can do that. We have a tool like that called Splash.
Okay.
I just reminded me that would work totally. So in that case, what Frank's talking about is we have a tool called Splash, which will be available shortly. So basically what it is, and it allows you to overlay a retargeting code on most other websites. So let's say there's a really good, sticking with the CrossFit example, let's say that CNN has a big controversial piece on CrossFit on their website. You can use the Splash tool to create a retargeting code, and that will fire before they actually see the CNN site, and use that link in your piece on Facebook or in your ad. So basically they click on the ad, it's taking them to the Splash tool at the same time as it's taking them to CNN, dropping a pixel on their browser and taking them to CNN. So you don't even have to set up your own site. So yes, that works as well. It doesn't work on all sites. Certain sites like Amazon, you can't overlay on Amazon. They have, I don't know, I don't understand the techie side, but I just know it's not possible. It doesn't fire, but it does fire on almost every other website.
Yeah. I would think that with a redirect you could do, do some sort of a refresh and still fire the pixel.
No, it's not an iframe. That's a really outdated technology for this kind of thing. This is iframing does not work.
It's basically a redirect. It happens. It's like it does a redirect, but at the same time, a part of that process, it's like taking the user to a page, but quickly moving them somewhere else, and that pixel fires while you still have them.
Mm-hmm. So the pixel is firing as they see the CNN site or the other site that you're linking them to. These guys, as soon as these tools are available, you guys will know. Frank will have a link up in the members area very soon, probably after Christmas and New Year's, because we're about to take a break for a while and enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good.
All right. I think we're on our...
Yeah, we did questions on that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
We're on the last page.
Yeah, we went for 3 hours and 11 minutes so far. And we covered a ton. There's a ton more in the members area for you that's already there, all right? So at this point, we're happy to answer any questions that you guys have that we may have missed. I can answer some questions about the other software or like the cart abandonment tool, but really, guys, this is about retargeting. That's what we'd like to focus on. We can get you information in the members area and through email on those other tools as they're available. But let's keep it focused on retargeting for now, okay? Okay, guys, so stick around for a minute, guys. I'm going to have a link for you in just a second, so go ahead and type in your questions, and we'll help you out. So stick around for a sec, guys. And Frank, if you see there's some questions, go ahead and go fire it. Okay, You want to start with those questions, Frank?
Yeah. Well, as far as the Facebook group, yeah, there is one, and I'll pull the link, but I'm also going to follow up after the webinar. I'm going to put together an email and just send sort of all the information. I think there's still some questions about getting in, and I'm going to send all that information to everybody who's registered. I'll use your email that you used to register. I will send that to everybody. I'll have both a support email address, our Zendesk email address, the Facebook link, and the link to enter into the page, and then of course the email. You'll have the contact information in case you have any sort of trouble with anything. But let me see about the other stuff here. I'm gonna pull up a couple links here. Just give me a moment, and let's see here. Let's find the Facebook stuff as well.
All right, guys, I see a bunch of questions coming in. We'll get on those in just a second. I just wanted to let people type them out so we don't start jumbling over them.
Okay, yeah, just give me a minute. I'm gonna.
Okay, guys, so here's the thing I'd like from you guys real quick. In the chat, I am pasting. Why isn't it sending? There's a Facebook link. Okay, guys? So please click that Facebook link and tell us what you thought of tonight's training. This is the first time I've actually got Frank out and about doing live trainings to the world, and he did an incredible job. The information was awesome, but we'd really love to hear from you guys. So if you wouldn't mind, please go to that link real quick and just tell us what you thought about the content and how well the training went. Is that fair? Can you guys help us out with that? And while you guys are doing that, we'll be happy to answer questions and things like that, but that would really help us out. It makes us, lets us know that people enjoy what we're doing, and, gives us that warm, fuzzy feeling to make us want to continue these kind of trainings for you guys. Okay, here, yeah, I'll paste the link again. Okay, so let's take a couple questions that people are having. No, the tools we're talking about are, well, the Shopify app will be a six-figure store tool for you guys, but the other tools are not. Pretty Link will not. Pretty Link does not allow for a retargeting pixel. Let's see. Do you have discount/dollar coupons for other platforms, or will you in the future? Maybe if they offer them. Perfect Audience is really the only one that's actively recruiting people by giving them free ad credit. So in the members area is a $120 link to get a $120 coupon. And so that's great. What's the link to use? Oh, yeah, guys, that's already in the chat. There's a Facebook link in the chat. That's the one where you can tell us what you thought about the training. Jeff, I'm not familiar with that software. What else, guys? What other questions do you have? I know we threw a lot at you, and a lot of you guys are probably on overload. But if you have a question, we'd like to get you taken care of.
Well,
Chris,
there was
see you, buddy.
Yeah, Brendan asked about sequential retargeting setup, and they would need to either expire or perform an action to move over to a different ad, but not clicking on the ad itself unless there was an action behind that tied to it.
Yeah, so basically, Brendan, if they clicked on another ad, and when they clicked on that ad, they landed on a page that had another pixel on it that started a new campaign and canceled the old one, yes.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is each retargeting list you have, guys, can be used multiple ways at multiple times, almost in an unlimited fashion. So a list, you're running one campaign where you're using the list to target. Another campaign, you're using that exact same list to exclude those people from seeing that offer. So you can set it up that way so that the same list is being used in multiple days. We've answered this question a couple of times, but how long are pixels good for? Depending upon the ad platform is the answer to that. But on Facebook, if it's a Facebook custom audience pixel, it's good for 180 days. If it's perfect audience, you can set that into perpetuity or forever. Doesn't mean they'll actually work if it's they get a new computer or whatever. It's obviously gone, but you can set it to store the pixel for as long as you want. What else, guys?
Yeah, no need to scrub the list.
No, there's actually no way to do that, and no, you don't have to. If you have a list that you don't want anymore, you just delete it. But I don't know why you would.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're collecting garbage lists. Unless you're not targeting on the traffic you're acquiring on the front end, you're going to have good traffic on the back.
Yeah, Julie, yes, yeah, you could just set it up so only those people in the last 3 days. Yeah, definitely.
Terry says, awesome stuff. 5 stars out of 5. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate it. And guys, again, we would really appreciate it if you guys would go leave your comments on that Facebook post that I just linked out there to you guys. It means a lot to us. What else, guys? I think we've got a little bit of voice left, so if you've got a question, we can try to squeeze it in. Cool. Montano says awesome stuff. Appreciate it, buddy. Top 3 biggest mistakes in retargeting. Mine and Frank's #1 mistake was not setting up conversion tracking and like all this at the beginning, just throwing it out there. Second biggest mistake was knowing about retargeting and not implementing it right away. Because I mean, honestly, I'm sure Frank can attest to this as well. The instant I started using retargeting, even not very well, I was making money.
Yeah.
More money than I was making before. So, and I kick people all the time. Like I have people that are like coaching students or that of ours that have been in our program. They've known about retargeting from me, training from me for like 5, 6, 7 months, and then you talk to them again about like this new offer, they're like, oh yeah, I don't have retargeting on that. Why? Oh, well, I haven't had time to set it up. 5 months you haven't had time to set it up, and you know how much money you've lost and how much harder you've had to work because of it? So that's probably the number 2. And then number 3, what do you think, Frank?
Well, I mean, for me, number 1 is definitely not having that, just the same thing as you, and the second for me is not segmenting, but number 3, you know, I think you have to also look at your, you know, setting up your ads right. I mean, like for me with an e-commerce store, I tend to run similar ads. It's really, you got to have banner blindness is a problem with this, just like anything else. You got to keep those looking fresh, and send, you know, keep them, you know, get the call to action on there just right, and then, you know, send them to a good page.
Clayton, you know, I don't even look at it on a CTR basis. Clayton's saying, what size banner do you find has the best CTR? I just put up every banner so that I'm, no matter what, because you never know, certain sites only have a certain size banner. So, and if you only put up one size of banner, you're limiting the reach of your ad. So, like if you only do the, what is it, 712 by, what is it? I can't remember, 39
Yeah,
or whatever.
there's five different sizes, and I don't remember
so
exactly.
Let's say you only do size 1. Let's just keep it simple. You only do size 1, then you are limited to only sites in the network that have placement option for banner size 1.
Right.
Okay. So I put all of them up there. Now, like Clayton's, you know, what you're just saying, like after Orlando, because he learned some really cool stuff in Orlando. Started using the smaller ones, and he's getting better results on 300 by 250. Great. What I would say to that is keep doing that, maybe up your budgets, but don't stop using all the other ones as well, because otherwise you're limiting your reach and your potential traffic, which is either way, lower click-through rate or higher click-through rate, you're still going to make more money.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I do all sizes every time. And in the members area, there's templates for Photoshop. If you do your own, and then basically I find that if I do them on my own, once I've done one of them, the rest of them I just move the image layers over and resize them, and they all fit just fine.
So Gary is saying, can you direct link to an affiliate offer, or do you need to funnel them through a pre-sale page? Gary, you can direct link to an affiliate offer. I would at least cloak the affiliate link with a redirect. Like through Pretty Links or something like that. But yes, you can direct link to an affiliate promotion. Regarding budgets, Clayton, I usually start most of my budgets off, depending upon the ad, but I'm usually around $50 to $100 a week. And then I look at how much is being spent, and plus, you know, PA will notify you if you're close to running out. So any of the ones that I look like I'm close to running out, I just up the budget by usually half again. So right. 50 to 75 or 50 to 100 or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've just really looked at what Perfect Audience is able to deliver. I mean, I found the more I spent, the more sales I would get, and I think Tanner's typically getting a lot more traffic than I do on my site, but I just basically maxed out the budget. I just spent as much as they would take, and I found that to work the best, at least for my circumstance, because if I reduce the budget, then it'll eventually run out of people it'll stop serving ads at a certain point.
Yeah, plus it also, just like Facebook, it kind of reduces your reach a little bit.
Yes.
So I'd rather over-err on the side of caution and have a bigger budget.
Right.
It is kind of a pain the way they make you like swap budgets around. But
I know. Yeah.
At the same time, it's still I will always, and if I don't see a campaign performing very well, I will just raise the budget super high and see if that helps. Sometimes that does. It's like spiking a bid on a Facebook ad. You could do that with your budgets in Perfect Audience as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to buy as much retargeted traffic as I possibly can because, like I said, you just will not make money with it. It always makes money. So, even if because I start after a while, there is the law of diminishing returns, of course. But as long as I'm still in a profit or making a sale or making a front-end sale, which I can then upsell them into other stuff, I'm going for it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I've watched, I mean, for my particular business, it's somewhat seasonal where the late fall, early winter is the slowest time. And I just noticed that there's actually less impressions and my ad cost just goes down. But then, the springtime is really when it gets busy and I can spend more and it works out very well. But I just watch out for what, I mean, so much of it is, and if you get good traffic coming in, then you're going to have good traffic to retarget, and you're going to want to spend more on that traffic because you're just going to make more money off from it. And then, there's a question from Arlene about tracking on a spreadsheet. When I mentioned that, that's, typically I'll try to map out if there's some sort of funnel or a giveaway where there's multiple pages someone's going through. Now that I need to decide, which list is going to be used for which part of that funnel, and that's all I use a spreadsheet for, is to map it out, just so so it's just not in my head, because I'll typically set up all those retargeting pixels and conversion pixels both in Perfect Audience and in Facebook, and I just use a spreadsheet just to keep those organized.
Marlene also asked, what deals are you cutting with bloggers who aren't making money? Marlene, I'll be honest with you, if they're not making money, if they're not a big deal, we're not talking to them at all. That's the kind of where we're playing, though. I mean, the people that we're implementing retargeting for, when I was explaining that, they're people that are multi-million-dollar companies or making ridiculous amounts of money, have great traffic. They just don't use retargeting, and they can see the immediate impact. So when we put a campaign for them, they automatically make money. Okay, if you wanted to go after bloggers who aren't making money, I mean, what I would do is talk to them about, hey, I can help you leverage this traffic. You're broke. Why don't I leverage your traffic, and I'll use an affiliate link in all the ads, and you will make an affiliate commission on all the sales made from the retargeted traffic coming from your site. That's the kind of deal I would cut with someone who has traffic but isn't part of the deal. But I personally wouldn't waste my time going after those. If I wanted to do something like that in our company, I would let a VA, $200 a month VA, just send out emails to all these different blogs and see who bites and let them handle it. I wouldn't actually do it myself.
Yeah, there's a question about anything specific you're doing or tweaking above and beyond what Tanner has showed us in the past. I'm not sure what you're specifically asking. I'm certainly...
He's asking for any cool things that that I haven't talked about.
Well, I've kind of showed a lot of the cool things that Tanner hasn't talked about, like being able to put that with giveaway pages. I've just found them to be, as far as giveaway pages, what I found that seems to work the best is just a decent image that goes on Facebook, and my opt-in page is typically fairly lame. It's not really pretty. It's something I just used the JavaScript code from.
Yeah, and it's a boring product. I mean, his products are boring. It's not even it's like electronics parts.
Right.
It's not sexy.
Right. But I found that and then I just have them go to the thank you page, and I think some of that, I I haven't polled the people that have purchased, but I think a lot of it is just that they're already familiar with my business, and that giveaway is just giving them one more incentive to come and buy it for they enter and then they're already on the page and they buy it from me rather than somebody else, because they got that that free that entry. But I also find I've had some really great results also when I do the giveaways, because inside of Facebook, you can target those interests, and like Tanner said, they're boring electronics, but the people that like it and need it and use it, they can be targeted on Facebook. Now, they're definitely more expensive to target than selling, a nurse T-shirt. Well, maybe not anymore, but targeting somebody who likes zombies, because it's more of a profession. Because typically, what I really need, I try to target are the decision makers, and so it takes a little bit more to do that. But I find from doing those, even though it's more expensive to do that than say a really like some other really cool niche like zombies. It's still less expensive than trying to do an AdWords ads on Google. And I have found lots of new regular customers through these giveaways on Facebook, just because I'll do the retargeting on the giveaway, but at the same time I always try to target new areas, and because the interest in certain types of electronics or networking gear and those areas, Facebook is always changing and adding new ways to target these people. So do you ever retarget to the giveaway? Yes, I do. Because remember, we're getting that 1.5% conversion, and most of those people are going elsewhere. I'm converting a good amount of those into customers, but at the same time, there's still many people coming that don't take any action. So entering that giveaway gives me their email address, and so I can add them to my email list. I also, whenever I do a giveaway, I add that banner to our error 404 page as well. And so people that get to the wrong place, they've got this place to enter. We get lots of people that enter off the error 404 page. So yeah, we retarget to both, and I track what's happening with each type of campaign. But for the sale, the thing with the giveaways, maybe I should be more clear about this, is I do the giveaway, they've got a place to opt in, but as part of the setup, I put a conversion pixel in. So I know who's buying from which campaign. I know that they've been purchasing through, I do the giveaway, they enter for free, and it's coming from Facebook. And then I've got the Facebook conversion pixel in place with the dollar amount configured inside that pixel. I can go into it for a non-retargeting ad, a pay-per-click or PPE type ad. I can go into that campaign and see how much money we've made from that campaign based on the conversion pixel. Does that answer your question?
What else, guys? I think we got time for like one or two more questions, and then we'll let everybody rest their voice and you guys get on with your evenings. I know we're getting close to Christmas, so everybody's got things to do.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, it was.
What else, guys? Anything else? I'm going to give you one more chance, and then I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and then we'll work on getting the recording out to you guys in the next day and a half. It's going to take a long time to render. It's a long webinar, so you guys got to give us some time.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rod has a question.
Well, inside of, if you're new to Perfect Audience, they do require at least 1,000 pixels in your list before you can start serving up ads. So that's why it's important to get that code in there right away. Now, you can put in the Facebook code in there, and they'll start serving very early on. I've seen ads go out even before they report a number. And so you just put both of them in there. There's no reason to, I mean, there's every reason to put in both of the retargeting codes in there and build lists on both platforms. Okay. Rod asked about contacting people on LinkedIn about retargeting. I'm not sure.
I mean, Rod, you can contact people any way you want to talk to them about putting retargeting pixels on their site. I mean, it doesn't matter how you contact them. Right. But yeah, I mean, that's a definite traffic strategy that can be used. It's not necessarily what my focus is, but you know, in our case, we can help people leverage their own business and get a perk out of it as well. So that's why we do it.
Well, Julie asked about a big perfect audience list. Well, try to use it and see what you can get from that. And Leo asks about you can't put retargeting pixels on a Facebook page, but if you use some sort of program that can refer them there, I mean, you need to have them. You need to have them on one of your own web properties to do the, or have access to another web property to put that code in to do that.
Yeah. Julian, you're going to need to go back to the training. Yeah. Because, yeah, we covered that in detail. Okay, guys, well, it was a great time tonight. Everybody give Frank a round of applause for putting on an awesome training with lots and lots of interruptions from me. He did a great job, and this is what you can come to expect from Frank and Build, Grow, Scale. We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming. Frank is clearly doing what he does, and really glad to have been able to share this with you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Tanner. I really appreciate all the information over the last year plus, and it's really made a huge difference in what I've been doing.
Awesome. All right, guys, have a great night, and we will get the recording up in the members area next day and a half. It's going to take a little bit of time to render and stuff, but in the meantime, you've got all the technical videos in there that you can work with to start. All right? Have a great night, everybody.
All right.
Good morning. See ya.
Okay. Goodbye.